So I was lucky enough to receive an early proof copy of You Had to Be There, the upcoming autobiography from club legend Jodie Harsh, which is also a reflection on the 2000s London club scene. Thank you to Faber Books and Jodie Harsh herself, you're both fabulous. This book was so fascinating, truly. It feels like a queer time capsule. It has this sort of found footage quality to it. Like, this is how I imagine old gays watching like Paris is Burning for the first time. Like, it's very evocative of that. Like, oh, here's a time and a place, and here's queer people who are doing like anything to survive through adversity, and it's really cool. I've said this before, but I don't read much non-fiction, and I especially don't read a lot of like memoirs and biographies, because the harsh reality is that most people like massively overestimate how interesting their lives are. But that's why I think Jodie is so smart, in that it's not just about her, it's about this community and this club scene and everyone who is in this moment together with her. And so it's really quite successful, I think, in giving you like a flavour for it and making you feel like you're there yourself. And I can't think of a lot of books that do that. This might sound shady as well, but it's competently written. Not that I didn't think it would be, it's just a lot of industry practices for celebrities when they have books out is to have them ghostwritten, or it's like a stream of consciousness that a scribe has translated into something legible. This, unless I'm mistaken, I think Jodie built this from the ground up. It seems like she wrote the whole thing. Didn't even realize she has like a degree in writing. Like, that's what she went to university for, like English. So you can tell it's like a fully realized book that has payoffs and is well structured, and love that. Yes, educated drag queen, that's what we want. There were some spooky moments in this as well. So the book starts and it's 2001. I don't exist yet, but Jodie does. She's 15. She is sneaking into clubs, specifically the London Astoria, which no longer exists. And I didn't realise that for people who are like from London or have travelled through London, when you're on the Elizabeth line and you're at Tottenham Court Road Station, that big underground area, she talks about how some of that used to be like the London Astoria, how it used to be Ghetto, this other club that she would go to. And of course they don't exist now. Now they're just part of like TFL, which is so creepy, because I've always felt this uncanny sense when I walk through that area, and like now I know it was like gay ghosts whispering in my ear. Love that. But it was really empowering to these like sentiments in the book about the queer community. It felt very much like in the Thor films, when Thor is like, Ragnarok isn't a place, it's a people. It was very much like that, where they're talking about how even though clubs, like brick and mortar buildings, turn over in London overnight, like a lot of these clubs that she mentions no longer exist, like you can't go to them, but queer people endure, they find new places to party, and it's more about that feeling of togetherness than it is about any actual physical place to party. And I just thought that was a really wholesome takeaway from all of it. I really like some of the things that she was saying in this. Also didn't realise how close Jodie was to Amy Winehouse. I mean, she was close to a lot of people, but there's like a whole section where she talks about Amy Winehouse at length. And it was emotional because like I'd recently seen, is it Back to Black? What's like the most recent Amy biopic? Because there's been a few of them, but I remember watching the most recent one, and it's very sad, and a lot of that sort of carries over into this story as well. But like on a more positive note, the fact that like Jodie's signature hairstyle, like the side swept with the fringe and the dark root, I love that she was inspired by Amy, who of course had a signature hairstyle. She had the beehive, and like Amy told her someone should be able to draw you in 10 seconds. That's so smart. I love that sort of stuff. Jodie is very much a name dropper in this book. Like there's definitely some sort of drinking game to be had, where every time she mentions like some sort of A-lister that she was partying with, like take a shot. But then on the similar note, there's also lots of really tender moments where she talks about like the fallout in her relationship with her dad when he found out, well, first when she gets outed as a teenager, but then later on when he finds out that she does drag, and that sort of like kills their relationship off instantly. That was really sad. And then later on in the book, when she talks about her journey with sobriety, because there's a lot of substance abuse in this book, most notably cocaine. And yeah, her path to recovery, how she has to work at it every day. It was really inspirational stuff. I liked it a lot. It's clever as well in how it's arranged. So the book is split into sections that correlate to different clubs and venues throughout London. And so as you're traveling through the book, you're quite literally traveling with Jodie to different parts of London. It's almost like you're going on like a club crawl, which is such a fun way of delivering this kind of story. I just think it's a really cool deep dive. I don't really have much else to say about it. It fires on all cylinders. It gave me exactly what I wanted from it and then some. Like, if you're in the mood for non-fiction, sure, which I know can be on the drier side, but it's in like fun packaging. Like, I couldn't resent it because it was talking about something that I felt like I could relate to, but was also learning new stuff, you know, because it harkens to a time when I wasn't even like alive. Even from just a generational perspective, it's so interesting what this story has to tell. Sorry, my mum just had to FaceTime me in the middle of recording this video, and she said nothing besides ridiculing my hair and my bedroom. The way she's made me completely lose my train of thought. What was I even talking about? Oh, You Had to Be There. It's good. It's, yeah. Gosh darn it, Mum. I can't remember what I was going to say now. Oh, I was talking about generational divides. So, yeah, it is fascinating to read this as a Gen Z person, seeing the confidence in millennials to just go out and live in the moment and to not be worried about, like, material things. It was kind of inspirational, but also kind of like I was a fly on the wall. Like, a part of me is glad that that's not my life. I feel like Gen Z can be really anxious, but at the same time we're probably a bit more grounded in reality. I don't know, it's hard to tell. But yeah, it's a good book. Check it out.